both ending in A. So, you know, that's kind of fun and exciting for a researcher. And we have 3 dolphins in front of you. 1 is a boy and 2 are ladies. So let's meet them. First up in the middle, we have and even here in British Columbia, we can see 10 or 11 of those different animals. So the first step in our research is to figure out really, what kind of dolphin are we looking at? That's probably pretty important to know. So what do you notice about their bodies as they move through the water? Well, we're getting a very good look at them. What I notice, I typically see they're very streamlined and torpedo-shaped. Yes, similar coloration to our seagull here. Dark on top, light on the bottom. Helps them blend in, and our seagull does sometimes try and grab a fish. His name is Steven. Steven Seagull. If you want to try to figure out that. And they also have a very tapered rostrum area. All of those things tell us that we are looking at Pacific white-sided dolphins today. And as their name suggests, who wants to try and guess what ocean they live in? Shout out. Yeah, that's right. I knew I had a smart ocean. It's the Pacific. It's all over that ocean, though, from Southern California to northern BC and Alaska and across on the coast of Japan. They're known for being very social, very fast, and incredibly acrobatic. We're going to get a good look at it. In fact, this is considered one of the most acrobatic species of dolphin in the world. Now, we're pretty lucky to have spotted this particular species today, not just because of their amazing acrobatics, but actually, they used to be considered a strictly open ocean dolphin. And it wasn't until about 30 years or so ago that they were spotted closer to shore. And that was great news for researchers, because it meant they were a little bit easier to study. Now, one of the things researchers try and do while studying the dolphins is tell them apart. And you get your chance to take some pictures like researchers do. Give them a big round of applause. Try and tell the difference between speaker in the middle and furthest away from me. Now, I saw lots of camera flashes going off, so if you had a camera and you got the picture, raise your hand. Okay, perfect. Now, chances are, if you were a researcher in the ocean, that's probably not going to happen for you. Those scientists have a very challenging job of photographing moving dolphins as they go through the water at incredible speeds, and they're trying to get a picture of just one body part. In fact, it's that fin sticking out of their backs. That's called their dorsal fin. The reason it's so important to researchers is like a human fingerprint. No 2 dolphins in the world have the same one. In fact, look at the 2 beside each other. You'll notice the one closer to me has a lot more white on it. That's Spinnaker's. And Candace is beside it. Kind of looks like a shark. It's very triangular. And of course, last but not least, we have one with a very sharp hook in the end. That's Helen's. Now, once you've been able to identify individual dolphins, your research can explode and move into other different fields. Like what do they eat or what eats them? And that's what we want to study today. What is their role in the ocean's food web? Who thinks they're a predator? Make some noise. Okay. Who thinks they're prey items? Make some noise. Okay, I think I have a pretty smart audience, right? Who thinks they're both? The dolphins agree. They are, in fact, predators and prey. Well, let's examine this for ourselves. On the predator side of things, they must be able to eat. So let's take a look in their mouths, shall we? In there, they have between 100 and 120 really sharp teeth. And they use their teeth slightly differently than we do. They don't chew with them at all. Dolphins swallow all of their food whole, but those teeth are very good for catching the fish in the first place. Now, usually those fish are really small, but once in a while they catch something big like a salmon. Now, dolphins, if you caught a salmon, could you swallow the whole thing? No, I didn't think so. That's way too big for you. Of course, what they're doing, though, they're not really answering your question. They're showing you how a A dolphin eats a salmon. They grab it, they shake it back and forth, and they tear it into some easy to swallow pieces. Works really well. But what about on the other side of things, when the dolphins are the prey? Well, thankfully there's a couple of strategies these dolphins have to avoid being eaten. And one is that beautiful color pattern you can see on their bodies. That dark back and white belly there is a form of camouflage. It's called counter shading. And it helps them blend in two ways. If you're trying to take pictures of them when they jump out of the air, you know it's really, really hard. But if you keep your eyes right in front of me here on Sticker, you'll see again how well he blends into the color. That dark black back blends in when they look down at them, and the white belly that you can see from Hannah. That reach. That white belly helps if maybe you were an animal under the water looking up at the dolphins. So they're very good at camouflaging. But there are still two animals that manage to find them and sometimes make them dinner. One of them is big, black, and white. Can anyone show me what that would be? Yeah, that killer whale, that would be orca, that's right. Well, to try and get away from a killer whale, let's see what Spinnaker's doing. Keep your eyes here, he comes around and around and around. He's swimming really, 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 really fast.
Whoa.
They can reach speeds of up to 35 kilometers an hour, and that, combined with these acrobatics, allows them to try and outmaneuver the larger, slower killer whale. But what about their other predator? This one that I'm thinking of has lots of sharp, pointy teeth. What's that? A shark. That's right. To get away from a shark, the dolphins actually have a completely different strategy. It involves defending themselves. They use different body parts, like the part at the front of their body there. That's called their rostrum, and it's as hard as a baseball bat. And they can use it to punch a shark in the gills. But if that doesn't work, they can use their tail, which is the other side of their body, and is also very strong. Very good at sloshing us around the habitat as well. If I was a shark, I really would not want to run into either end of the dolphin's body because they can do some serious damage, stun the shark, and let them swim off the scene. Now this is really well for killer whales and sharks, but they do have another, believe it or not, more dangerous threat out there. And if you take a look to your left, you take a look to your right, you might see it. Does anyone want to guess what it is? It's people! That's right, it's us! We are the top predator in the world! Which is great for humans, but we need to think responsibly about what we do in the lives of other animals, like these dolphins. Because all three of the dolphins you're looking at right now are rescued animals. Human debris or garbage ends up in their homes and can get wrapped around them, and that's really dangerous. And these three know that firsthand. In fact, they still have scars on their bodies from fishing nets they were entangled in accidentally off the coast of Japan. Now, thankfully, they were rescued, and although the government deemed them non-releasable rehabilitation animals, they're here to remind all of us that we can do our part to keep their homes safe. So if you ever see garbage on the ground, even if it's nowhere near the ocean, if you can pick it up, put it in garbage cans, recycling bins, you do that to help animals like these dolphins, creating a safer home for them to live in. That's something you can feel pretty good about, I think. So, to thank you in advance for any future garbage collecting you may do, let's give you one last look again at Sticker! Once again, and of course, not to be outdone by the boy, bright ladies, keep your eyes on Hannah and Ellen. Myself, the trainers, and of course these incredible dolphins. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you so much for visiting us at the Vancouver Aquarium. We've reached the tail end of the show. That was their tail. It was funny in a funny way. Anyways, if you do have any other questions, feel free to come and talk to me once again. My name is Nicole, and thank you very much for visiting us.
Steven. Steven the Evil.
Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Maybe they named him after.
Go on, let's go.
Yeah.